For example 3a, if this came up on an exam, they would add the word algebraically, and that they would like you to solve this question using the formula and using your skills with dealing with factorials algebraically. They don't want you to just guess and check and get the right answer. So what does that mean? Well, NP2, we have our formula. That means n factorial over n minus 2 factorial is equal to 56. Now, the question is, how do we simplify factorials? Well, if we had a number, someone tell me a number, any number, bigger, like 8, okay. Well, let's not do 8.
16.
Yeah, okay. 7. 16, 8, they would all work fine. I'm just having fun. Okay, so if you had 7 factorial on top and 5 factorial on the bottom, well, if you wrote these out in expanded form, this would be 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And the bottom would be 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And all of this would cancel out, just like we did at the beginning. So what we find is it was a little annoying, okay? Now I'm going to use the next number that you had. Someone said 16. So if I had 16 and 14, it's going to be a little bit annoying to write out all of them down to 1. So what I do is I go 16, 15, and when I get to 14, I'm going to say, well, I'm just going to put an exclamation mark there saying I could keep on going, right? All the way down to 1. But I'm not going to write it, and I'm not going to do the bottom, because at this point, can you see that those would cancel out? Now, when we're dealing with variables, the important thing when you're looking at your numbers and trying to figure out what's going to cancel out, you have to start expanding the bigger one. Because if I would have started with the 14, would I ever got to 16 to cancel it out? No. I'd be like, oh, next one, 13. Oh, I'm not at 16 yet. 12. Oh, keep on going. So we have to decide which is the bigger number. Now with the variables, we have n factorial on top and n minus 2 on the bottom. Which one's bigger? N. So we start expanding the top. It'll be n times what'll be next? N minus 1. One less. What'll be next? And when I get to n minus 2, I'm like, oh, I could keep on going, but I'm just going to put an exclamation mark there because I have an n minus 2 factorial on the bottom, and those will simplify. Still equal to 56. If I expand the left, I'm going to get n squared minus n. What kind of equation is this? Quadratic. How do we solve one of these? We'll bring the 56 over, make it equal to 0, and factor n and n. 8 and 7. The 8 is going to be negative, the 7 positive. So we get n could be 8, and n could be negative 7. Are there non-permissibles in here? Well, if we check originally, we have to do factorials, and we can't do factorials of negatives, right? Our factorials only work with positive numbers, so you do have to check, and this one is extraneous. The only answer is n equals 8. Now, the reason they want to see your work algebraically, that you can do this step, is the one that they want to see that you know how to do. How to simplify factorials by expanding the bigger one until you get to the smaller one, and then being able to simplify. Okay? Guess and check for these are really easy, especially if you know that that means spaces. So I have 2 spaces equal to 56. What times what is 56? 7 times 8. So the bigger one is 8, then 7, so n is 8. Well, you always start, this is your starting number, right? The n is your starting number, and then you go 1 less each time. So that would have been really fast. But that's why the questions say algebraically. Now, part B, on the other hand, this one would only come up in a multiple choice question. This is one you don't have to do algebraically. So in this case, if r is the number of spaces and 5 is your starting number, Is one space enough? No. So you add another space. Is two spaces enough? Yes. Okay. R is 2. Nice and easy and straightforward. Question number 10 for practice.